Track and field has a dominating performance.
We have a new home run king for the baseball team.
All this and more coming up on the Penguin Rundown. What's up, Penguin Nation? Mike Yurstowski, John Schiraldi, and this is, of course, the Penguin Rundown. Michael, how you doing today, my friend?
Pretty good, my good sir. How about yourself?
I'm great. Now, I did want to ask you, have you ever hit a home run in your life?
I did, John. I did hit probably like 10 to 15 back in my day. I actually hit my first at-bat, my 12-year-old Little League season. Ka-bang! Drilled one over the left field fence. No one in my family saw it.
That's disappointing, but
Thanks,
frankly,
Mom.
No one, us included, and apparently the Yurstowski family, wants to hear about your home runs, but thankfully we're going to talk about someone else hitting home runs today.
We are, John, and that name is Andrew Kendrick, and he's on our YSU baseball team. They took on the league-leading Wright State Raiders this past weekend at Eastwood Field. The Raiders were 9-0 in conference play entering the weekend. On Saturday, the Gwins went down early after a 3-run bomb from Adrian Marquez, and after tagging on 2 more runs in the second, YSU fought their way back with a 5-run third inning to tie the game. Thanks to a 2-run ninth inning, the Gwins were able to force extra innings against the Raiders, but would fall after 10 by a score of 11-8. On Sunday, the Penguins fell in Game 1 of the doubleheader and looked to bounce back in Game 2. They did just that by winning a score of 5-2, handing Wright State their first conference loss of the season. Jeremy Quinlan had a strong outing on the mound as he went the distance, throwing all 9 innings while only giving up 2 earned runs and striking out 7 Raiders. Andrew Kendrick backed his pitcher's performance by going 2 for 4 and making school history. In the 4th inning, Kendrick hit a shot down the left field line to tie the school record for home runs hit in a single season. Then in his next at bat in the 6th, he hit a 3-0 pitch over the left center field fence to break the record. The record was last set in 2010 by Jack Healy. Now on Tuesday, the Gwins looked to finish off their homestand strong against in-state opponent Ohio University. After going down 5-0 early, YSU fought their way back into the game thanks to a Kyle Baniecki 3-run home run in the 4th to tie things up. The Bobcats would tack on a run in the late innings, however, with the Gwins falling by a score of 6-5. The team now sits at 8-21 overall and 4-8 in Horizon League play. The Stash Crew will be in Milwaukee this weekend for a 3-game set with Game 1 beginning on Thursday at 4 p.m. Be sure to check out YSUsports.com for live stats and information.
Despite some stellar pitching performances, the softball team dropped all 3 games this past weekend in a series with the top-seeded UIC Flames. Saturday, Maddie Lusk and Caitlin Minnie combined to throw 18 strikeouts, but YSU was unable to pick up a single run in either game. Sunday, despite a Callie Minkovich RBI that gave the Gwins the lead in the bottom of the 5th, YSU would fail to respond to a UIC run and lose 2-1 in 8 innings. YSU aimed to bounce back this past Tuesday with a doubleheader against Northern Kentucky. However, weather and unplayable conditions postponed the game until yesterday. For scores and updates on yesterday's doubleheader as well as today's noon game with the Norse, check out YSUsports.com.
The women's tennis team had a strong weekend as they picked up wins over Detroit, Mercy, and Oakland. On Saturday, the Gwins earned a 5-2 victory over Detroit. The women jumped out quickly by winning the doubles point in strong fashion. At number 1, Nehal Sahani and Noel Nasimba won 6-1, and at number 2, Aman Hassim and Sophia Macias earned an impressive 6-0 win. YSU also won the first 4 completed matches in singles play. On Sunday, the team picked up a 4-3 win over Oakland. They now improved to 5-1 in conference play and 11-8 on the season. The men had a tough weekend as they lost 4-3 against Detroit, despite singles wins for Tomas Rodriguez, Yossi Dahan, and Jao Guerrero. The men are now 3-2 in conference play and 15-7 overall. Both the men and women will be in action next Saturday when they host Cleveland State.
Spring practice has come and gone, and with the team's first game coming this September 2nd, here's what head coach Bo Pelini and company think about the team's progress this spring.
I thought Hunter had a good spring. I thought, I thought up front defensively, I thought our 2 ends, the 2, guys that need to step in for Avery and Derek had I thought Faison and Johnson Lugine they both had good springs, and Lee Wright on defense, and I think a lot of guys. There are a number of guys that really took advantage of spring ball and the reps that they got. And there are some guys that didn't take advantage of it and struggled and showed they're not ready to play. So I think everybody's you got to look at each guy individually, see where they are, and we'll make our decisions accordingly.
We're going to have a good day. We're going to have a good day. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
And I think we're in a good direction heading into, the summer, getting bigger and faster. But I think spring went, good. Everybody, got back out here after the championship game. And I think it was just a pretty good spring just to evaluate where everybody's going to stand and seeing how guys are going to get better and what's to come for fall camp.
I feel like we accomplished a lot. The older guys did real well this spring. Younger guys, I feel like they need to take a bigger step coming up in the fall. Older guys feel like we know the defense well. We just got to sit down with the younger guys and get them playbooks ready.
Disappointing, the Ohio weather had to cancel the red and white spring game, but we're looking forward to the fall season with the football team. Now, the men's golf had a solid weekend at the Hoosier Invitational. They would finish with a score of 907 after the 54-hole event. And back out at the Colonial Classic on Monday. After the day two, the Gwins would come in 7th as a team, while Jason McCune would finish 9th out of 54 golfers individually. This 9th place finish was the best finish of his career. He had an impressive 3 over par 75 on Tuesday. Now, his teammate Steven Sfeda would also place in the top 15 individually, as he would come in 13th. Hitting over to the women's side, they finished 5th in their first appearance at the Navy Spring Invitational, which was held at the Naval Academy Golf Club. They finished with a 2-day total of 650 as a team. Riva Morris was a bright spot for the team, as she would finish 3rd with a strong 153, which was 1 shot outside of first place. They will next compete tomorrow against Cleveland State in Bowling Green at Pine Hills Golf Course.
Track and field traveled to Virginia on Saturday for the George Mason Invitational. The Gwins had a strong showing with 5 first-place finishes. Of the 5 finishes, Colin Harden set the school record in the 400-meter hurdles with a time of 51.98 seconds. He also broke the mark of the 52.11, which had been held by John Payne since 1991. Amber Ells also ran a season-best time of 13.75 seconds to win the 100-meter hurdles. Penguins are in action next tomorrow and Saturday at the Mount San Antonio College Relays and Akron Invitational.
How well do you know YSU? We went around and asked you, Penguin Nation, how deep your fandom goes. Our very own Alexa DeVore was out in the field for another segment of Do You Know YSU?
Andrew Kendrick. Is it? I love Andrew. Go Drew.
Action Bronson.
I say Justin Banks.
Joel.
I hate baseball, so I don't know.
Barry Bonds.
I can't even answer that because I have no idea.
I believe that would be Andrew Kendrick.
Andrew Kendrick. I'm going to say 68.
I want to say somewhere in the 1900s region.
I want to say 1967.
1842.
It's like 18. No, 19. I'm going to go 1925.
1907.
1930 something.
1945.
2009. The Watson Trestle. So like Watson, something Watson. I don't know. He donated money for a Watson Trestle Center.
I have no idea.
Watson Trestle Center. Watson Trestle Center, something like that. Training center.
Watson Trestle.
Something and something training facility, right? I don't know.
The Watson Center?
Believe it or not, Watson and Trestle Training Center.
Watson Trestle Training Site.
Every week we name a student athlete, and this week who has had success both on and off the field. This week's honors goes out to junior first baseman Andrew Kendrick.
The 2017 season, the baseball team has won 6 of their last 11 games and currently lead the Horizon League in home runs. That's due in large part to junior Andrew Kendrick.
new coaching staff has really emphasized, playing loose and playing our type of game. So, trying to pump the music up and, play relaxed and play our game.
Having beat 2 nationally ranked teams this season, Georgia Tech early on in the season and Kent State as of late, Andrew Kendrick touches on what it's like to get those kind of wins.
It's definitely cool. It's a cool feeling, playing a nationally ranked team and beating them. So, Georgia Tech and Kent were very, very good teams. So, going out there and competing was our main goal, and ended up beating them is even better feeling. So,
this past weekend against Wright State, Kendrick hit his 12th home run of the season to tie the school record for home runs hit in a single season, only to break the record in his very next at-bat to become YSU Baseball's next home run king.
The first one I didn't know was going to stay fair. I hit it and kind of thought it was going to be a foul ball, so I stood there for a second. But when it went out, just kind of surprised that it stayed fair. And then, when I crossed home plate, they told me I had tied the record. So I was like, oh, it's a pretty good feeling. But the next one was 3-0 and 3-0 count, and I swung and didn't think it was getting out, so I was digging for second. But it was a pretty good feeling when you cross home plate and see your teammates, and it was a good feeling. I was glad we could get a win in that game too.
Even though the records and awards are nice to collect, Kendrick puts the team aspect of the game before anything else.
I hadn't even known about the record at all until somebody told me. So, so records I don't really pay attention to. Just trying to help the team get a win and play to the best of our abilities. That's really what I focus on.
After his time here at Youngstown State University, he plans on being involved with the game as much as possible, but always has a backup plan.
Coaching would probably be what I would want to do, stay around the game as much as I can. But if the real world calls, and I'll go out and get a job either in communications or marketing.
For the Penguin Rundown, I'm Chris Colella.
John, 2 things. Before you go. 1, he has incredible facial hair, and 2, the man hates baseballs.
Yeah, an outstanding mustache, and good news for the YSU baseball team, bad news for those baseballs. But that about does it for us here at the Penguin Rundown. For news, highlights, and more,
be sure to visit YSUsports.com.
And be sure to follow us
on Twitter,
Instagram,
Facebook,
and Snapchat
at Penguin Rundown 1.
I'm John Schiraldi.
And I am Mike Rustowski.
Thanks for tuning in, Penguin Nation.